RHONJOG, Teresa Giudice's husband, Luis Ruelas, has been hit with a multi-million-dollar tax lion. He has been in trouble in the past with his businesses, but what brought this lion on? More so, can he work his way out of it? Keep reading for more details. Teresa Giudice's husband hit with multi-million-dollar tax lien. When Teresa Giudice started dating Luis Ruelas, RHONG viewers and her co-stars just wanted to see her happy. She had been through a lot with her ex-husband, Joe Giudice, including prison time. Therefore, they hoped she would be smarter this time around. Unfortunately, Luis began to rub people the wrong way as he appeared very controlling. More than that, he acted like he was Zen, but then flipped at the drop of a hat. His attitude continued to be off-putting, especially in season 14. He came after Margaret Joseph's son and said this: "I hope her f***ing son suffers the way I suffered, the way other people in our family suffered, dealing with a woman like that." Luis and Teresa believed that Margaret had been talking with his ex, but it was actually Jackie Goldschneider who was the culprit. Regardless, this was an awful look for Luis and made many fans never want to see him again. Now his world has been hit hard again as he was hit with a $2.5 million tax lion. He owes this money in taxes to the state, and it just adds to his bad financial track record. Luis previously was sued for $300,000, and one of his companies went bankrupt. There were also allegations of hiring Bo Dietl to investigate Teresa's RHONG co-stars. This came to a head at the season 13 reunion, and the cast could not believe how twisted this was. Some may recall that, in the last season, rumors flew that Luis was going through all of Teresa Giudice's money. She claimed he was worth more than her, but that seems fleeting and false. This makes sense as to why she is on board for whatever Bravo will hand her. Are RHONG fans shocked? After learning about how much Luis Ruelas owed to the state, were any RHONG fans shocked? Or were they waiting for the other shoe to drop? Of course, there were jokes about how this was likely the fault of Teresa Giudice's castmates, but that's obviously not true. I'm sure it's Melissa or Marge's fault. That makes sense why Teresa and Gia keep doing TikTok lives. They need to make that money. Seriously, she will continue to stand 10 toes down, because she will never admit marrying the first man who paid attention to her after her divorce was a mistake. I bet she's wishing for a prenup now. Teresa did not want a prenup when she married Luis, but that may have been a mistake. However, she has always fiercely defended him and his behavior, no matter what he has done. Hopefully, this tax lion does not put her and her children in jeopardy. Are you at all surprised about this happening to Luis, or were you waiting for the other shoe to drop? Finally, should they be on season 15 of RHONG? Let us know in the comments below. In a world where reality TV stars often make headlines for their over-the-top drama and personal lives, it's not uncommon to see their financials come under scrutiny. This time, it's Real Housewives of New Jersey, RHONG, star Teresa Giudice's husband, Luis Ruelas, who's facing some serious financial issues. Fresh off his controversial season 14 appearance, Luis is now in hot water after being hit with a multi-million-dollar tax lion. What does this mean for him, Teresa, and their future? Let's dive into the details and unpack how we got here, what this lion could mean for them, and whether or not there's a way out. When Teresa Giudice began dating Luis Ruelas, RHONG fans were cautiously optimistic. Teresa had been through quite a lot with her ex-husband, Joe Giudice, including serving time in prison. Teresa's fans wanted to see her happy with someone who had her best interests at heart, and Luis seemed to be the one to do that. But as their relationship grew, it became clear that their story was not as simple as happily ever after. Luis, a businessman with an extensive career in digital marketing, quickly became a central figure on RHONG. However, his time on the show wasn't without its controversies. Early in their relationship, viewers began to notice some red flags. Luis's controlling behavior, combined with his sudden outbursts and strange comments, left many fans uncomfortable. As much as he tried to present a zen-like persona, Luis's anger was hard to ignore. His interactions with the RHONJ cast, especially with co-star Margaret Josephs, raised more questions than answers. Perhaps one of the most shocking moments came during season 14, when Luis lashed out at Margaret Josephs. In a heated moment, he said, "I hope her f***ing son suffers the way I suffered, the way other people in our family suffered, dealing with a woman like that." This comment was directed at Margaret's son, and it left the audience stunned. Teresa and Luis had believed that Margaret had been talking to his ex, but in reality, it was Jackie Goldschneider who was the source of the rumor. Regardless, this was a major low point for Luis and left many fans wondering if his temper would overshadow their marriage. Despite these public outbursts, Teresa has stood by Luis through thick and thin. Even when rumors surfaced that he might be financially irresponsible or overly controlling of her finances, Teresa defended him. She insisted that their relationship was solid and that Luis was the man she needed after a turbulent marriage with Joe Giudice. However, the latest news surrounding Luis Ruelas is proving that not everything is as perfect as it seems. In a shocking turn of events, Luis Ruelas has been slapped with a tax lion of $2.5 million. According to reports, the tax lion is related to unpaid state taxes, a situation that has left fans and onlookers stunned. For someone who often claims to be a successful businessman, this tax issue has raised eyebrows. Many are now questioning how this could have happened and whether Luis's financial troubles are more extensive than anyone realized. This isn't the first time Luis has faced financial issues. His history with business ventures is not without controversy. Previously, one of his companies went bankrupt, and he was also sued for $300,000. Additionally, there were the disturbing allegations that he had hired private investigator Bo Dietl to investigate Teresa's co-stars on RHONJ. This came to a head during the season 13 reunion, where the cast was shocked by the extent of Luis's actions. Fans began to wonder, was Luis going through Teresa's money? Was he controlling her finances behind the scenes? These concerns were only heightened when rumors began circulating that Luis was, in fact, worth less than Teresa, despite his claims otherwise. So, what led to this recent tax lion? While details remain scarce, it's clear that Luis's financial track record isn't exactly spotless. The tax lion represents just one more obstacle in what has already been a tumultuous journey for him. For Teresa, it adds yet another layer of complexity to her marriage, which has already been under public scrutiny for several years. Teresa Giudice has always been fiercely protective of her family, and Luis Ruelas is no exception. Despite the mounting controversies surrounding her husband, she has remained steadfast in her support. When the tax lien news broke, Teresa didn't hesitate to defend Luis, even though many fans expected her to distance herself from the situation. On social media, Teresa continued to post images of her happy family life, showing no signs of being rattled by the financial mess Luis had gotten himself into. She even shared posts celebrating their relationship and future together, giving little indication that the tax lion was affecting them. Fans, however, couldn't help but wonder how much longer Teresa could keep up this perfect image of her marriage. One thing that's clear, though, is that Teresa's loyalty to Luis runs deep. Even in the face of public backlash, she has continued to stand by him, defending his actions and rejecting any criticism that comes their way. But it remains to be seen if this approach will continue to work in their favor as more financial and personal issues come to light. When news of the $2.5 million tax lion hit the headlines, RHONJ fans were quick to react. Some expressed genuine shock, while others seemed to take a more cynical approach, almost as if they had been waiting for this moment to come. Comments on social media ranged from playful jabs to serious concerns about the couple's future. Some fans even joked that it was likely the fault of Teresa's co-stars, like Melissa Gorga or Margaret Josephs, who were somehow to blame for Louis's financial woes. It's clear that RHONG fans love to speculate, but this situation was undeniably serious. As the news spread, fans couldn't help but revisit their doubts about Louis's financial stability. Some pointed to the ongoing rumors that Louis was spending Teresa's money and questioned whether their lavish lifestyle was sustainable. Others wondered if the tax lion would be the final straw in the couple's relationship, with some even suggesting that Teresa should have insisted on a prenup before marrying Louis. Teresa had been adamant about not wanting a prenup when she married Louis, a stance that left many RHONG viewers questioning her decision-making. After all, in the world of reality TV, where finances often become a topic of discussion,